I've been told that simply living as long as I have has showered me with a world of knowledge, and perhaps it has, but I sometimes wonder if the knowledge I've obtained over these many years is now obsolete because so much of my knowledge before was manual. I mean, I didn't grow up having the internet. I didn't grow up having AI. Uh, I grew up with black and white TV that shut off about 10 o'clock at night. I grew up with reading newspapers. We didn't have talk shows. So I'm not sure that my world of knowledge is applicable anymore in a lot of ways. Um, and some of this knowledge that I have and some of the experiences that I have don't necessarily give me any magical insights into anything anymore. Uh, some examples. I spent 23 years in the United States Air Force, and I learned a lot. And I went through basic training, I went through tech schools, and I amassed a lot of knowledge. But I'm thinking that most of that knowledge, as I watch videos of Air Force basic training now, are like night and day. I mean, yes, I know the knowledge of them yelling at you, and I understand the entire knowledge concept of how they break you down mentally and build you back up as a unit from an individual. And so those aspects are probably things I can talk about. But the nuts and bolts, those definitely have changed. And experience in and of itself, having gone through something, does not inherently impact knowledge. It simply doesn't. Just because you experience something doesn't give you a knowledgeable perspective on that item. I mean, I've gone through health issues, as we all have. I've gone through marriages. I've gone through child raising. And again, the way you raised a child back in the 60s and 70s is probably a whole lot different. Um, I'm not sure that everybody, young parents today, has heard of Dr. Spock, but he was like a god for a long time to a lot of people. Uh, but as far as lessons in life go, I think it also needs to be said that a lot of the lessons that I have learned, a lot of those are just my lessons. They don't necessarily translate to other people. I can tell you about the good and the bad experiences that I've had. I can tell you about things that I did or I hesitated to do, work that I had. And a lot of these experiences I can talk to you about, but it's kind of like getting back to the basic training. I firmly believe that there are some things in life that you simply can tell somebody about, but they can't really understand it. They can't own it until they do it for themselves, you know. And each of us learns exactly what we need to. I learn things from experiences in my life that maybe don't apply to you, whereas you, on the same experience, will pick up knowledge that pertains to you, that means something to you, that's important to you. But I will tell you one thing that I've learned, one bit of knowledge that has stuck with me especially as I've gotten older, is simply tell the truth. I know that sounds simple, but knowing and doing it can be worlds apart. You know, when I do that and I tell the truth, and I really try to tell the truth as much as I humanly can, I never have to remember what I said. I don't have to think back and say, oh, what did I tell Sally or what did I tell Bob? Because I simply told them the truth and it doesn't vary from person to person. And I've also learned another experience is to trust my gut. I have learned that my gut will never lead me astray. Uh, if it's right, I know it. And if it's wrong, I know that as well. One of them keeps me awake at night. Can you guess which one? And one of them lets me sleep like a baby. And telling the truth is a choice. And it's one of those choices that's always yours. Sometimes it doesn't seem easy. Sometimes you think, well, if I just tell a lie, it'll be easier. The person will not feel offended. The situation will change. And that's really not how that works. Because then you have to start thinking again, what did I say? When did I say it? Stick with the truth. It really makes things a lot easier. So that's probably the most important knowledge thing that I've ever learned in my life. And it's the only thing that hasn't gone out of style. Internet, AI has nothing to do with telling the truth. It doesn't affect it one way or the other. The truth simply is the truth. Look forward to talking to you all again soon. And please let me know if there's any topics you'd like to talk about. Have a great day. Bye.